Here to help and liven things up, Bob Coleman is back with us. He is a small business expert and editor of the Coleman Report. Bob, it's great to see you. Every time you're on, we do food when you're not here.
Do you know that's so true? And every time he's on, he says, you should send me some, and we didn't. We're rotten.
And my stomach is growling, yes.
But I don't know how well David's food travels. Seriously.
Some of it travels.
Some of it travels.
Noodles travel. Come on.
Our cakes travel.
There you go. Yeah. We should have planned.
I'm sorry, Bob. Apologies to Bob.
You just got to come to set, Bob.
That's
My
right.
wife owns a dog grooming business that grosses approximately $75,000 a year. Recently, she had an inquiry about selling. How do you determine the worth of a business to determine a fair price for everyone? Business has been around for over 10 years, so someone wants to buy the dog grooming business. Bob, what do you think?
You know, there's an interesting website out there called Biz Equity that you can go on and you can actually see what the value of your business is. That's sort of a fun site. It's free. As a general rule, when you're dealing with a service business, 2 times revenues in today's economy is a good place to start to give you an idea what the value are. A couple years ago, businesses were looking at 3 times. That's not where we are today. I'd start with 2 times. I'd feel comfortable with that. And there's some interesting tools on the web that you can play around with to get also a better idea.
Bob, what's the name of that website again?
Sure, Biz Equity, BIZEQUITY.com.
Okay.
Dagan's tweeting
Yeah, I'm
right
going to
now.
tweet about it in a second
Bob,
as soon as I
you know what,
correct
before we
the
move
spelling.
on, can you just give us a little rundown quickly on the state of the state as far as lending goes to our small business compadres out there?
Unfortunately, the Congress issued a report, the large banks, 10% down in small business volume. That's nothing that we don't know. But anecdotally, one of the things we do on our website is we put up new job announcements. Tracy, last year we lost 25% of the people who came to my website's financial service professionals lost their job. The good news is we're getting more and more announcements. CIT has announced some people. The smaller banks are rehiring. So that's good for Main Street. We're starting to restaff this population. We're still in a credit desert, but we see green shoots definitely. And I'm encouraged. You know, this is a much better conversation that we're having today than we had 6 months ago.
Welcome back to Your Questions, Your Money. Happy Saturday to all. We're going out to the West Coast. Up nice and early this morning is Stefan. Good morning.
Good morning. I love your show. The reason I'm calling is because I've developed a website having to do with green products and services. It's an online directory of businesses that sell green and organic products and services. And my question is, how do I go about getting financing, and how do I market it properly?
Let's start with the financing. Bob, how would he get financing, or what would he need to show in order to get financing?
I think, Stefan, let me take you back one step, and that is you got the website up, but let's get you with the track record with having people pay you for your product. You know, it's very interesting listening to David and how he started the restaurant. And he wasn't concerned about financing to grow. He was concerned about how to handle the growth, which I think is a very interesting analysis. So what I would do on that is what Dagan was saying. Go with the search engine optimization. Go with social media. Get people to drive you to your website. Drive that traffic. Get a track record. And then you can go to a lender and say, hey, this is what I have. I have some I have a financial statement, I'm making sales, I'm making money, and I want to go to the next level. That's my advice.
And create a useful blog. Tell me something I don't know. I have to know you. Make me feel that way. Blog, incredible way to drive traffic.
Welcome back. Your Questions, Your Money. We're going straight to the phones. Leonard's on the phone from Maryland. Hey, Leonard, what's your question?
Hi, Tracy and Dagan. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, Leonard.
What's your question?
I'm interested in purchasing an existing franchise that a current owner is thinking of considering selling because they're retiring. And I just had questions on steps I should take to watch out for myself or potential pitfalls in purchasing existing franchises, like looking at the books or et cetera along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob, you're nodding your head. You want to jump in?
Now, first thing you want to do is Google the franchisor and find out what their reputation is on the web. There's a lot of blogs out there. See if the other owners are happy or unhappy with the brand. talk to the franchisor, talk to the system, and then talk to other franchisees in your system. Then you would go talk to the person about negotiating the deal. But do your homework first. There's a lot of unhappy franchisees, unfortunately, in the world right now.
Can I say what we do?
Yes. Is it dirty?
No. When we are doing research, oftentimes we will Google the person's name and prison,
Arrested or jail.
tax evasion, you know, Tracy Burns, prison, Tracy Burns, arrested, and then you'd be surprised what comes up. Don't go home and do that now.
But Bob, I believe that aren't there still, what are the regulations governing buying a franchise? Because there are certain offering documents that the franchisor has to give to you. And as the founder of Famous Familia, they franchise out. He was saying that the document list existing and former franchisees who you should get on the phone and call.
Yeah, and Dagan, that's a good point. But more importantly, in today's economy, to get financing, the lender is going to want to have more information than's in the regulatory document.
Sure.
And ask for it. For example, in that regulatory document, you want to know who are the top 10 performers, also who are the bottom 10 performers, and what are their financials. You can get that in today's environment.
Yeah, do your homework. That's the answer to that one.
Bob Coleman, again, I'm sorry, we have pickles too. Not for you, though, because you're not here. But some final thoughts, please, sir.
Yes, I'm sorry also. I want to pick up with something that Sean said, and it was very telling. And what he said was, hey, I've been able to open up these locations just picking up the keys. For the entrepreneurs out there, there are deals, and there's substantial deals. Really do your homework. And for example, the gentleman who called earlier about buying that franchise, dig deep. And there's some significant discounts that can be had in today's environment. And more importantly, when you go talk to the lender's going to want to know that you've been able to negotiate those discounts up front without the lender saying, hey, can you knock off 10 or 20%?
Good advice.